Greetings, everyone. Welcome to our channel. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about an individual by the name of Todd Sidoti. If you have been watching previous videos, you know who that individual is. I want to briefly start by saying uh, all constitutional rights in both now waived. Now, moving right along, this individual that we're talking about's name is Todd Sidoti. He's a attorney who practices in the state of Ohio, city of Columbus, county of Franklin. And what it appeared to be, it appears that Mr. Todd Sidoti was sent to work for Moses McCormick as his divorce attorney. He was sent. Okay. Um, he solicited my brother for services. He solicited him to become his attorney, and he offered a significant savings. So it was a deal that my brother really couldn't refuse because it was a significant savings. It was a couple of $100, which I couldn't understand why he retained him. Why Mr. Sidoti was so willing to represent Moses for such low retainer fee. So that was the first red flag to me. We're going to start there. So I traveled to Columbus to kind of check out everything to kind of see, what was going on because Moses wanted to show me, what was going on. So when I looked at everything, I was disturbed. Okay. I was disturbed because I was looking at the communication between Todd Sidoti and I was looking at the communication between him and Moses. And I didn't like what I seen. It was very sad. It was very deceptive. Uh, it was just disgusting. So I was able to take a further look and we looked into it and I was shocked when I actually got to the city of Columbus, state of Ohio, and found out, pretty much what they was trying to do. Basically, what Todd Sidoti did was he offered Mr. Moses McCormick a service uh, to become his client, so Todd Sidoti could represent him in a divorce case. Now, all of this was to get Moses McCormick in a position to where he would settle out of court. That's what Todd Sidoti. It is believed that that is what Todd Sidoti was sent to do because he was sent. Okay, it is believed that he was sent, and so once he got on the case, he didn't do anything. He did hardly nothing. It was just okay. Are you going to settle out of court? Are you going to settle out of court? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to settle out of court? I mean, he had this whole theater thing going. They had this whole shenanigans and theater shit going on. Like somebody is stupid, and when you look at it, it was so sloppy. The, their plan was so sloppy. My 10-year-old niece could have foiled. I mean, it was so entirely sloppy. So entirely sloppy. He get with the opposing attorney, okay? Pretend like he's working, okay? Making time go by. Bringing them into the courthouse, okay? Putting them in separate rooms and making them believe something is going on that is not. Just manipulating the whole situation. And then the forgery, it is believed that he forged the document. He turned in a document that was not signed by Moses McCormick. Okay. He turned in a document that was not signed by Moses. So he turned it in. So that means if Moses didn't sign the document, okay, and he turned it in, that means he has to know who signed it or he signed it himself. Now, this document in question was concealed. It was concealed for other reasons I'm not going to get into right now. But we'll get to that on a later clip. But what people need to know is they need to know what's going on down here in Columbus. Okay, what pretty much is going on is this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like to me, to me and several other people who took a look at it. Okay, when I took a look at everything, it looks like okay, you have a black guy that comes from a background that's a pretty poor background. Okay, he's married to a Chinese woman who comes from a pretty good background. Okay. They've been married for 13 years, 13, 14 years. And so now let's look at the assets. So now I look at the Chinese woman's assets and I see, oh, she's pretty wealthy. And I look at the black guy's assets and I say, oh, he doesn't have any money. Then I say, okay, this is what we need to do. I know that if he goes to court and if it goes through the lawful way, that the person with the assets is going to have to balance out the person that doesn't, unless there is a prenuptial agreement. And I'm not giving legal advice, I'm just saying. So with that being said, what it looks like they did was it looks like they came up with an idea and they said, okay, we're going to send Todd Sidoti to go pretend like he's going to work for him because he's going to offer him a sweet deal. No other attorney is going to be able to do that. So no other attorney is going to be willing to offer such a sweet deal. So that's why Todd Sidoti offered the deal. And then, unbeknownst to Moses, he, went in on the deal because it was such a small fee. But what they went ahead and did was they went ahead and they plotted. So Todd Sidoti was really working for the other side, but he came over and did that. He came over and act like he was working for him. You see what I'm saying? And so that corners the situation because now the other side has the attorney that works for the other side and have their own attorney. So they're going to work together. So pretty much what was going on is what it looks like is they came up with a plot and they said, look, we can't let this go through the courts because you have nothing on Moses. He hasn't committed any adulteries. He hasn't done anything to violate the law. So, we need to make up some false allegations in order to get things to go our way. That's basically what his wife's counsel. That's what it looks like they did because what they did was they lied and they came up with all of this trash. And then see what it looks like. What it looks like they did was it looks like Todd Sidoti, which is the lawyer who represented Moses, got together with the opposing lawyer. Okay, and what they did was they wanted to play it out like it was such a heated divorce. Oh, it's nasty. When in all actuality, it wasn't really that nasty. They made it nasty. And this is how. They have to make sure that the husband and the wife are not talking. Okay? So as long as they're not talking, they can't find out the shenanigans that the game that the two lawyers is playing. Okay? And who knows who other officers of the court is involved with the play. Okay? So with that being stated and with that being said, the way that it looks is it looks like they plotted it all from the beginning. And as this thing unfolds, as this sloppy thing that they did unfolds, it just proves more and more and more that our hypothesis was absolutely correct. Was absolutely correct. They pretty much make side deals with each other to try to get him to settle out of court. Okay? So what they basically tried to do was they tried to scare him up and say, look, uh, you need to do this, or this is not going to go this way, or this is not going to go that way. You need to do this, you need to do that, because they needed to get him to settle out of court. Period, point blank. And when I went to one of his court dates and I listened to the judge, her name is Judge Kim Elena Brown, spelled with the E on it. When I sat in her courtroom and I listened to her, how she talked, the things that she said was unbelievable. So right then at that time, I knew even more that whole thing was planned out. Period, point blank. So Todd Sidoti was used as the person that opened the door. He got the door open, and then everything else went from there. The lies, all the lies, okay? All of the illegal proceedings at the Franklin County Court, domestic court in courtroom 66. You see what I'm saying? It's sad. It's really, really sad what they doing to people. They're using this is what they did to him. They used the guardian ad litem, because the guardian ad litem was supposed to be a third party. It's supposed to be an impartial third party. So the guardian ad litem is not supposed to be on anybody's side. They supposed to just look at what's going on, and then they report to the courts what it is. You see, so they're gonna weigh what comes from the attorneys, and then they're gonna weigh what comes from the guardian ad litem. And they're gonna do this. But what they're doing is they're rigging the system by what they did was they rigged the system by bringing on a guardian ad litem that they know that will be on their side. Because see, the whole plot, let me just get down to the bottom of it. The whole plot was to deny him of his marital property, which exceeds well over 150,000, well over that. But what they wanted to do was they wanted to keep pushing out. What they did was they kept pushing the court dates out. They forged his name on papers, kept pushing out the court dates to get him so stressed out, like, oh, I don't want to go through this. Oh, I just want to get it over with and done. Just, oh, I can't take it no more. I'll settle. What they wanted him to do was they wanted him to settle out of court for $30,000. Okay? Now, what they wanted to do was they wanted to take the marital property that he would have been entitled to and split that and split it all up. That is what is believed that they were doing. They wanted to split his money. So basically, they wanted to have him settle out of court. And once he settled out of court, they got what they need to take to the court to satisfy the divorce. And then his money that he would have got, the opposing attorney got that and split it and pay off everybody. This was going on. Was the plot intricate? Hell no. Hell no. That's not intricate to me. That's not intricate at all. And they weren't even slick at how they were doing it. They wasn't even slick. It's sick it's sick what they did. But I know that, yeah, they got to get exposed, and we gonna expose the shit out of them. You hear me? We gonna expose the shit out of them. All the truth, all true facts, what they doing down there to people. And then when I researched and I did my research on Judge Kim Elena Brown, when I did my research on her, I was baffled to see the pattern, the pattern, the pattern, the pattern of her being sued, the pattern of people filing lawsuits against her, the pattern of people complaining about her impartiality. I mean, about her not being impartial. You know, it's just, and we all know that when there is a pattern of something, there's an organization of something. When there is a pattern, let me say it again, in case you didn't hear me. When there is a pattern of something, when there is a pattern of some type of activity, there is an organization. Okay. If there is a pattern, if there is a pattern of things that are happening, whether they are against the law or lawful, when there's a pattern of any type, there is an organization of some type. So this thing looks very organized, looks very systematic, looks very assembly line-ish, if you will. Okay? So that's what made it so easy to identify what they were doing. It made it so simple to identify what they were doing because it was so fucking sloppy. Okay? But we're going to catch y'all on the next clip. We're going to give y'all an update on the next clip.